Good evening, good night. So wonderful to see everybody. Yes, last night I did make a mistake. I rushed off after doing the 3 blot, and I did the last Mishnah Yomis. I only did one of the 2 Mishnayos, so we're going to have a do-over tonight.
Rabbi, I saw that, but I thought it was me. So I didn't want to say
yeah, no, I made a mistake. Okay.
We all thought it was you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, we're up to.
Okay, we are dedicated by Shalom Fogel, Ilun Nishmis Yaakov Zev ben Yehuda Aryeh, Rivka bas Yaakov Yosef, Tzivya Miriam bas Gad, Yosef ben Zion ben Yaakov Zev, by Baruch Ian, Ilun Nishmas, Yaakov Chaim ben Abba, Esther bas Gittel, Avram ben Shmuel HaKohen, Yaakov Yemansky with Akos Tov the Rav and the Zoom family, and Nachas from children and grandchildren. Baby Spry, Nachas from children and grandchildren. Ed Salah from London, Joshua Rosenberg, a virtual Talmud. And we learn Le'ilu Nishmas Yigal Salik, Neshama should have an Aliyah. We welcome in Shimon Klein, Mel Zachter, Saba, Mo Kushner, who survived the hurricane, and Stephen Holtzman, Berish Gesserman. We welcome in Eddie Chazan, Yitzi Fuchs, Marshall Castle, who was missing in action last night. Dr. Block, we missed you. Shelley Zeitlin, Menachem Yemansky, who looks much better, Baruch Hashem. Moshe Lehman, are you feeling much better? Menachem.
Outside of a little cough, I'm back to 100%.
Baruch Hashem, good to hear that. Moshe Lehman, Nachman Chapler, Rabbi Kranz, Yitzi Muller, Gedalia Engel. Gedalia, you look like you could be a little bit more chipper. You should have a complete refuah shalema. Aaron Swade, Dr. Guy, Yisrael Fisher from his sukkah in Brooklyn. Ilya Shutman.
With Maybelline.
With Maybelline, yes. And David Helfgott on Zoom phone, because we're not on Kololoshin here, as we broadcast from the Armin Hotel at Greenwell Caterers in Stamford, Connecticut. And as Saba had asked us, we are holding 3 lines from the bottom of Kuf Yud Zayin Amid Beis. 3 lines from the bottom of Kuf Yud Zayin Amid Beis, and we welcome in Moshe Lehman. So, remember we said that there's a machlokes if the land was given to the Yotzei Mitzrayim, to those that came out of Egypt, or it was divided l'boy ha'aretz, those that were at the age of 20 when they entered into Eretz Yisrael. So says the Gemara now, Amalei Rapapa Labai, Bishloim Elamandi Amalei Yotzei Mitzrayim Nischal Ka'aretz. It's good according to the Mandiyama that says that Eretz Yisrael was divided to those that came out of Egypt. Hainu Dichsiv, that's what it says, L'Rav Tar Ben Nachalasai. To the many, the inheritance was increased. Ulama'at, and to the few, Tamit Nachalasai. The inheritance was minimized. What does that mean? Let's say one person entered into Eretz Yisrael, but many of his ancestors left Egypt. So he inherits all those people that left Egypt. So therefore, L'Rav, to one who has many ancestors, Tarba Nakalasa, he'll get more Yerusha. While Ulama'at, let's say there were 10 people in the family entering Eretz Yisrael, but they only had one ancestor in Mitzrayim. So then Uluma'at Tamit Nachalasei, their inheritance is diminished because the 10 have to share only the one ancestor who came out of Mitzrayim. But according to the Mandiyama, that it was divided to those that entered in the land. What do you mean? There's no to the many, the Nachala is increased. Everybody gets the portion that he's supposed to when he enters into the land. There's no subsequent increase. Says the Gemara Kasha. You're right, that's difficult. It's good according to the Mandiyama that the Nachla was given to those that came out of Egypt. That's what the daughters of Tzlafchad were crying, that they wanted to have the Yerusha of their father Tzlafchad since he was a Yotzei Mitzrayim. But according to Mandiyama, that it's those that enter the land, Amai Tzlafchad. Why were the daughters of Tzlafchad screaming? Tzlafchad didn't enter in the land, so they didn't have a portion. Holei say Delishko. He wasn't there, that he should get a portion. But if you remember, we said that even if you hold that the land was given to those that came into Eretz Yisrael, but we did a reverse Yerusha, and the Mesim were Yerush the Chaim, the dead inherited the living. And we said that since the daughters of Tzlafchad, they had a grandfather, Chefer, and therefore the other children of Chefer entered into Eretz Yisrael, and it went back and was inherited by Chefer, and then passed back down through Tzlafchad and through Tzlafchad to them. So they get not only the portion of Tzlafchad that he inherited from his father, but also since Tzlafchad was a Bechar, he get the double portion. Says the Gemara, El Chazara, it's when the Yerusha returns back to the Yotzei Mitzrayim, V'lito b'nichzei Chefer, and to take their father's portion in the property of their Zayda, and since he was a Bechar, the double portion. It's good according to the Mandiyama that the Eretz Yisrael was inherited by those that left Mitzrayim. Hainu de Kotzofchan b'nei Yosef. That's why the children of Yosef screamed, because they proliferated greatly when they came to Eretz Yisrael. And if they only got a portion of those that left Egypt, so then that's a lot less than they were now. So they're not getting in proportion to their increase. Hainu de Kotzofchan b'nei Yosef. D'chsiv vayidabru b'nei Yosef. They said that they're now very many, and they're not getting enough Yerusha. El Lamanda Amar, but according to the Mandiyam L'Boya Aretz, that it was inherited by those that came into the land, then my Kotzavche, what were they crying? Kulu Shakal. Then they got plenty. Says the Gemara, they didn't get plenty. Mishim Tfeilim Daven Nefishalu, because there were a lot of children, a lot of people under 20. Now, so we find that the daughters of Tzlafchad complained, and Yosef complained. So, Amar Abaya, Shmami Na, we could conclude from here that Loi have a Chad de Loi Shakal. There wasn't anybody else that didn't get a Yerusha. Why? The Esau Kedai to have a Chad de Loi Shakal, because if there was somebody else, they should have also screamed. They should have also complained. And from the fact that only the daughters of Tzlafchad and Shevet Yosef complained, that means everybody else got a Yerusha. So the Gemara says, "V'chi tema d'tzavach v'ahane." Those that cried and it helped, kasvei kra. The tzavach, those that complained, v'loyahani, and they didn't get any benefit from their complaining, loy kasvei kra. But maybe there were others. Says the Gemara, but the Bnei Yosef didn't get any benefit from their crying. Their Yerusha was not increased. Ha Bnei Yosef d'tzavchei v'loyahani. They cried out and it didn't help because Svinu Kra, and the Torah wrote about it. So you see, there must be no one else. You can't say because it didn't help, because the Bnei Yosef also it didn't help. Says
when do we see that the Bnei Yosef cried out?
That's the rest of the pasuk of Vayidaber Bnei Yosef.
Didn't they complain about the Bnei Tzlafchad not leaving the Shevet?
No.
Wasn't that their whole complaint?
No. They complained that they. They complained that they didn't get a portion. Let me see if I could give you the exact lashon of the pasuk.
I know here in Maaseh they complain.
Yeah, the pasuk says that the pasuk says clearly. The pasuk says clearly that we are a plentiful people. So their complaint was because they were a plentiful people. It's a beferish pasuk. Where is the pasuk?
Yeshua. I thought it was in Maaseh. It's in Yeshua.
Okay. So now.
Margin in the article
Says
and the article Gemara also.
Says the Gemara. Yeah, Madua nasatli nachas goyel echad v'chevel echad v'ani am rov. I'm a very big nation, and so anyway, you'll excuse me, Rabbi Say, I shouldn't have interrupted the train of thought over here. So the Gemara says, you see that it mentions the complaint of Yosef, even though there was no help to them. So it seems to be that there's nobody else besides the Bnei Yosef and the daughters of Tzlaf. It says, no. Perhaps other people complained there was no Eitzah. The reason why Yosef was mentioned, that's because of a special reason. That they were given advice because since they were many, they should hide in the forest. Because not to get an ayin hara. Hasam Eitzah Tova Kamash Malan, they were being given by Yoshua a piece of good advice. The Bailei Inish is the Ure Me'enabisha. A person should protect himself from the evil eye. As it says, B'hainu de Ka'amalu Yeshua, and this is what Yeshua said to them. Dichsiv vayomer aleim Yeshua im am ravata. If you are a great nation, alei lecha hayara. You should go into the forest. Amalahu, he said to them, lechu vehechovu atzmechem bayorim. Go and hide yourself in the forest. Shaloi tashlit bechem ayin hara. That people, because you are so plentiful, people shouldn't give you the evil eye. We have to know that, people make fun of the evil eye, or they say, if you believe in the evil eye, it could hurt you. That's all not true. The evil eye is a real thing. Rav says he went to the cemetery, and he divined that out of 100 people, 99 of them died from the ayin hara. The
Yosef doesn't have an ayin hara.
Well, the Gemara will say that in a minute, but give me a second. The evil eye, it says in Pirkei Avos, one of the things that's maitzin as a adam in a olam is ayin hara. Ayin hara is when a person causes other people to look at them with pain, enviously with pain. So the Rabbeinu Shalom says, I didn't give you extra to cause other people pain, and then takes it away, Rachmana litzlan. The red bendela that people wear, there really is no help with the red bendela, except that it's a red alert. It reminds people not to flaunt, especially in front of people that don't have. So Rabbi Kranz was mechaven to a Gemara that was written 1,000 years ago. Amrulay, they told Yeshua, Ana Mizaradi Yosef, we are from the seed of Yosef, that is invincible to the ayin hara. Now the reason why Yosef HaTzadik is invincible to the ayin hara, and if you think about it, Rabbi Isai, if you say the Ushpizen the other way, I do Avram, Yitzchak, Yaakov, Moshe, Aaron, Yosef, and David, but if you do it Avram, Yitzchak, Yaakov, and then you do Yosef, right? So we're at least a little bit close to Yosef. We still didn't hit Yosef, but right, it's true. if you do it my way, Moshe, Aaron, Yosef, so today is Aaron, but we are doing tomorrow's daf. So it would hit Yosef. It hits Yosef's Ushpizin. So Yosef always deflected whatever he had and said it's not from him. When Paro says, I heard that you know how to interpret dreams, so Yosef right away said, Biladoi, it's not me. It's not me. He always deflected credit from himself. And therefore, since he did that, he became invincible to the evil eye. I want to welcome in Ruvain Pollack. It's good to have you. And Chag Kosher V'Sameach. Ilya Shutman is joining us. So anyway, so says the Gemara, how do we know that the evil eye did not hold sway over Yosef? Because it says, Ben Porus Yosef, a charming son, or a fruitful son is Yosef. Ben Porus Ale Oyin. He's charming by the fountain. Yosef was very handsome. Vam Rebbe Avo, al Tikre Ale Oyin, by the fountain. Ela Ole Ayin. He is above the eye. He's impervious to the evil eye. Rabbi Yosef Rebbe Chanina Mehacha v'yidgu l'roiv b'kerev haaretz v'yidgu l'roiv, and you will be multiplied to many in the midst of the land. And it says a lashon of yidgu ma dogim shebiyam, just like fish in the sea. Mayim mechasim aleim, the water covers them. Ve'ein ayin shaletes b'hem, the eye doesn't hold sway over them. Av zari shel Yosef, so also the seed of Yosef, ein ayin shaletes b'hem. One of the kavanas that we have when we do tashlich is we go to a body of water that has fish, and we say that just as the fish are protected from the ayin hara, throughout the year we should be protected from the ayin hara. Later on in life, when Rav Chaim didn't have the strength to walk to tashlich, they would bring him a bowl of water with fish in it, and he would do tashlich on that bowl of water with fish in it. Marshall, live fish, not sushi. Now, says the Miraglim, the spies, Yeshua v'Kalev not luchelkam, the 10 spies that died horribly, Yeshua and Kalev, the brave 2 spies that were loyal to Hashem and to Moshe, they took their portions in Eretz Yisrael. Menani Mili, how do we know this? Amar Ula, the Amakra, the pasuk says, V'Yeshua ben Nun v'Kalev ben Yefuna, Yeshua the son of Nun and Kalev the son of Yefuna, Haya min ha'anashim ha'hein. The Chayu, they lived from that group. Now my Chayu, Ilema Chayu mamish, that they lived to enter into Eretz Yisrael. We have another pasuk. There wasn't left from that generation. Ki Kalev ben Yefuna v'Yeshua ben Nun. So we know they lived. So what does this pasuk teach us? They got their portion. They inherited the 10 portions of the Meraglim that died. It was a terrible death. Their tongues became very long, and worms crawled from their tongues to their belly, and their belly to their tongues, until they died. Mislainen in the complainers, Vadas Kairach, and the assemblage of Kairach, it's Kairach Vadasai that was swallowed up, Lo Yoyela and Chelik Baritz, they didn't get a portion in the land. Vatanya, we learned, Meraglim Mislainen and Vadas Kairach, the spies, the complainers, and Vadas Kairach, Yeshua v'Kalev not luchelkam. Their portion was also given to Yeshua and Kalev. Says Gemara Loikasha, Mar Makish Mislainin and L'Meraglim, the one that says that Yeshua and Kalev inherited Adas Kairach, and the complainers juxtaposes it to the spies, and Mar Loi Makish Mislainin and L'Meraglim. The other one doesn't juxtapose the complainers to the spies. The Tanya, now this is talking about the daughters of Tzlafchad. Now we know Tzlafchad died in the desert, but the daughters said, our father did not deserve to lose his portion. Avinu meis b'midbar, our father died in the desert, Zet Tzlafchad. V'luhu lo haya b'soich ha'eda. He wasn't from that wicked congregation. Zadas Meraglim. That's the assemblage of the spies. Hanoyadim al Hashem, that joined against Hashem. Elu mislainim. Those are the complainers. Ba'adas Kairach, he wasn't a member of the Adas Kairach Kamashmoi. That means Kairach that was swallowed up. So we see that it says the mislainim next to the Meraglim. Mar makish mislainim Meraglim. And say just like Yeshua and Kalev got the portion of the spies, it got from the complainers and Kairach. Umar loy makish mislainim Meraglim. Now here's the thing. When it says mislainim, complainers, it makes it sound like we're talking about the Jews that complained. But if we mean the Jews that complained, they said that they didn't want to eat the man because it was lechem akloikel, it was bread that wasn't absorbed by the body, that was completely absorbed by the body, or they complained that they wanted meat, or they complained, what are we going to drink? Then that's all of Klal Yisrael. Did Yeshua and Kalev inherit all of Eretz Yisrael? Did Yeshua and Kalev get the inheritance for Yosef, the Kuli Eretz Yisrael, and inherit all of Eretz Yisrael? Says the Gemara, when we're talking mislainim here, we're talking a much more restricted group. It's the 250 people that complained with Kairach that were burnt, the Srufim. Amalei mislainim shebadas Kairach ka'amrin. V'amalei Rapapal Abaya. Here now, the Gemara talks about a specific division of Menashe, which the daughters of Tzlafchad were part of Menashe. So, V'amalei Rapapal Abaya Bishloim Elamandi Amalei Yotzei Mitzrayim Nischal Ka'aretz, that Mitzrayim was inherited by, that Eretz Yisrael was inherited according to those that came out of Egypt. Hainu dichsiv ayiplu chavlei Menashe, and the portion of Menashe was Asara, 10 portions. Shita de Shita Batei Avos, 6 for the 6 heads of the tribes of Menashe. Va'abodidu, and 4 given to Tzlafchad. Now, right away, those of you that remember the Mishnah says that the Bnei Tzlafchad got 3 portions. 1 of their father, and 2 of their grandfather, Chefer, since their father was a Bechar. So he got a double portion from Chefer. So that's 3. How does it amount to 4? And furthermore, Menashe is a very big Shevet. What do you mean? For the whole Shevet it counts 6, and then it counts just the 4 of one family of girls? The Gemara is going to ask that, not today. That question is going to be tomorrow. And we're also going to deal with how is it 4? It should be 3. But according to the Man Yama, that it was inherited by those that came into the land. So if you remember, we said that the daughters of Tzlafchad, they only got because the Yerusha, there were other of the descendants of Chefer, and they were inherited back when we said that the inheritance goes, the dead inherit the living, and Chefer inherited it back and then spread it back down, and the daughters of Tzlafchad got a double portion from Chefer. So then that would be 6 of the 6 heads of the tribe, and 2, that's 8. How does it become 10? Shita the Shita Batei Avos, traded who? And 2 of them are Tamne. So the Gemara says, like I told you, when it calculated according to Yotzei Mitzrayim, that it was 10, 6 of the 6 heads of the tribes, and 4 of Tzlafchad, but we said it was only 3. It was only 9. The double portion that Tzlafchad got from Chefer, and Chefer's portions, and the 6 heads of the tribes, that's 9. That besides that, one of Tzlafchad's brothers died without any heirs, and therefore the daughters of Tzlafchad got from his portion as well. So that's the extra portion. So hachanami, if you learn that it's laboya aretz, where we're missing two, then treya achei da'aba havalu. Then there were two uncles. The Tanya, where do we have reference to this? Nosan titein lahem, it should be given to them. Zu nachalas avian. That's the inheritance of their father. That the Bnei Slav could get their inheritance of their father. B'soich achei avian, together with the father's brothers. Zu nachlas avi avian. That's the inheritance of their grandfather, Chefer. Va'avarta es nachlas avian lohen, and it's passed over the inheritance of their father. That's the extra portion, because Slavkud was a Bechor. Zu chelik b'chayra. Rebbe Eliezer ben Yaakov Aimer, af chelik achi aviyem natlu. There was one uncle. Shenemar nosan titein. It says a double lashon, nosan titein. So there was an inheritance from an uncle. Where's the extra pasuk? Hahu me'achuzas nachla nafka. It uses the extra word achuzas, so it tells us a second uncle. Okay, we're going to stop here now. We have to do two Mishnah Yomises now.